came exploring again. Another one of these crazy bike trails. Oh, somebody's bicycle park. Well, at this point in my day, believe it or not, I haven't checked my mileage. I don't really know where I'm at. I could guess, but I don't even want to do that. But I will say that the second part to today's run has been a little tough. Funny thing is, the best part of it is when I find a rhythm, and that rhythm brings my heart rate up about 10 beats per minute or so more than my relaxed heart rate. So I'm finding on the single track and even on the more flat sort of roadways, if you call them, or double paths, or I don't know even what you call those, tracked. Get a really nice pace going and rhythm going. I know my heart's working harder than, I think I want it to, but at the same time, maybe I just don't know enough about how this all works, because my breathing is, pretty calm, and my fueling and hydration has been, I think, pretty on point. Anyway, I think I've got just less than an hour left in the park. I was going to see if I could do 42k or just 5.5 hours, whichever came first. Been reading a lot lately about duration, running for time rather than pace or distance per se. So I know it has its merits as well. Running for time. So really, I wanted to give myself 6 hours today, but I was a little late arriving, and like always, I always take so long to get ready. Even when I went back after the first 20k to change my shoes and do a little wardrobe change, still felt like I took too much time doing that. Probably was only about 15 minutes, but it felt like half an hour. Glad I did, though, I have to say. I knew the winds were going to pick up this afternoon as it goes on, and there's more increasingly chance of precipitation. I know for a fact that the temperature later, well, if not already, is going to start to drop. We are in for a couple of really cold days coming up. That's going to be fun tomorrow. Part 2 of my back-to-back long runs. I think it's supposed to be like a high of 5 degrees Celsius. After we've been so spoiled these last couple of weeks. Crazy, they're calling for snow If not tomorrow, then Wednesday. I love this here. This is all learning for me. I don't have really any experience running on this. Excuse me. I'm gonna call this igneous rock. Go back to my grade 10 geography or grade 9 geography, but I could be wrong. But one thing I'm learning how to actually hit those flat rocks and not try to avoid them, because that's where the ground is uneven. When, as I've learned, put your foot in between where the rocks are, and that's where you roll an ankle. And if you just actually propel off the rocks, less resistance and less roll. Of course, I'm sure the roundness or the flatness or the pointiness of the rock has something to do with it. It would be great if my elevation gain today could hit about 2,000 feet, but that could be wishful thinking, for considering there are no mountains around here. It's been really hard for me over these last 8 weeks to go out and find 2,000-3,000 feet of elevation gain without running up and down the same frickin' hill over and over and over again. But one thing's for sure, I know it is benefiting me greatly, whatever the amount of elevation is that I'm getting in. I just feel it in my legs. Like, I was thinking about how, we joke when we're road running, going long distance on the roads, how freaking monumental that is to get over a curb. Oh man, when it's so repetitive for so long. Okay, the wind's picking up. It probably doesn't sound great in the microphone, so let's run this out till I get to the Beaver Dam. This is back on the Beaver Dam Trail. And then I'll just have to fill my next hour with as much kilometers as I can without pushing myself ridiculous. Because it would be really good. I would be so proud if I could actually get 42. That would be a first for me. Getting 42 kilometers on a trail. And it would only be the second time in my 4 years of running that I've actually hit that distance. If I don't, I'm not going to fret about it. But if I do, I'll be pretty proud. Maybe treat myself to some salty junk food tonight. Isn't it true? That's all we think about when we're out running for hours and hours. It's just all the food that's at home waiting for you. Especially the unhealthy food. I mean, I love my vegetables, my quinoa and lentils. Man, Give me some wavy lays and some hell of a good dip. That would be great. Okay. This is probably one of the best trail names I've ever seen. Wally and the Beaver. Which, pretty sure if this wasn't the Beaver Dam Trail, then that trail wouldn't have that name. Whew. None too soon. I set a personal best. I think the time I took was very close to the time it took me almost a year ago when I ran that on the road. And I remember walking home in the dark, freezing. And today wasn't much different. Finished just in the nick of time. It's about to get nasty. Anyway, just climbing into the back of my car here so I can change out of my shoes and then go home. That was my last big, long training run for Miwok100. Let's see if I'm up for day 2 tomorrow. Won't be quite as long, but I'm sure it'll be just brutal.